Morning and welcome. Classy. Cup of tea time in the morning. I normally start my day with a cup of tea. Don't normally have anything to eat. It's a good start. Some nice hot water. Mix it up with that lovely tea bag. Not too dark though. I don't like it too dark. Go and sit down and let's have a look at the map. We're going to head towards Picton today. I've got to catch a ferry later on, so time to put the socks on. I have they are a compression sock, and I found since buying these socks they work really well in keeping your feet comfortable. Some new shoes on the motorcycle, some lovely fresh tyres. It's a little bit chilly this morning, a jersey on, and it's time to go.
On our way.
It is a beautiful day for a ride coming into Amberley. I've got to keep an eye on my time and of course my fuel tank. Must put some petrol into the tank and make sure that we can get through. The Griso is only a small tanked bike, 17.5 litres thereabouts. So generally you get somewhere around about 250, maybe 300 kilometres. But 300 kilometres is pushing it depending on the environment and where you're riding, how you're riding and all the rest. So I tend to look at filling up at least no later than sort of 220, and that makes sure that I am going to get through. And plus also allows you to have a bit of a decent break as well, because you know those getting off the bike and having a bit of a stop and a start is sort of just helps you out a lot, eh? At Cheviot, I thought it was an opportune time, even though I don't necessarily eat breakfast like I said. A snack on the road is never a bad thing. A little bit of a sugar and a coffee, really nice. The Cheviot Cafe there. Heading further north, a little overcast, but certainly warming up a little bit, which is nice. Riding solo today, good day for it. There is a crew of Moto Guzzis heading from the south a little later. They're only heading as far as Picton today. They've made a wise decision in sort of breaking the trip up a little more than what I've done. I've got to get to Picton to get on the ferry so that I can get off the ferry and then get to some accommodation, which I have not yet booked, but I'll get to that eventually. I tend to like to wing it a little bit too much sometimes, and therefore get myself a little in trouble with what am I doing, where am I going to be, and where am I going to lay my head? A little north of Cheviot we came into the Hunterlees, which is the pass over the hill that leads down onto the Kaikoura coast. Beautiful road. Once upon a time this road was 100km/h speed limit. Since the earthquakes and some road reconstruction, they have lowered the speed limit down to a mix between 80km/h and 60km/h. The 60km/h is a real pain. It's like you're just being a slug. It makes sense in a way with the trucks and so on, but as far as a motorcycle, 60km/h is just, in my opinion, ridiculous. But you just have to listen to the road rules and avoid getting a ticket. Coastline's beautiful today. say, those wonderful mountains. And if you ever get the opportunity in behind those mountains, maybe right in behind or another one in behind that, you can go and do the Molesworth Station Road. Beautiful scenery through there, gravel road. It's around 50, 60 kilometres an hour speed limit through there as well, but it is gravel, so understandable and well worthy of the ride through there. North of Kaikoura and quite a little bit north inland from the coast a little bit, passing a little bit of traffic as we head up the road. The clouds are clearing a little bit of blue sky is always nice. Hey, I love it like this. There is a little bit of a breeze starting to set in though, getting a bit blown around a touch. Can't really tell looking through here, but my head feels like it's a bobblehead and I'm just wobbling all over the damn shop. Oh well, it's all part of the experience on a motorcycle, ain't it? Sometimes it's smooth, you've got the back wind and you feel like, you know, you're hardly moving, and then you get these gusty side or frontal winds and it just knocks you around for six. Makes you a better rider at the end of the day as long as you stay on. You can sort of predetermine where the wind's going to come from as you're going along a hedge line or whatever. There must be a classic car show on somewhere this weekend. Passed a couple of cars like this now, so pretty cool to see these old vehicles still out on the road, and hopefully they'll be maintained and still get out on the road for many decades to come. Cool part of history. We've finally made it to the Bluebridge. I've never ridden on Bluebridge ferry before. I've always gone for the Cook Strait ferry through the Inter-Islander. Few other Guzzies parked up here heading on the ferry with a destination of where they're going to stay. I think is different than what mine is for the first night. So looking forward to boarding this ferry and seeing how different it is compared to my experiences on the old Inter-Islander. The ferries of recent times, both Inter-Islander and the Bluebridge, have had some dramas. The Inter-Islander grounded itself on the shoreline, and the Bluebridge boat has hit the wharf and lost power, and both the boats seem to lose power from time to time. Thankfully the Griso doesn't lose power, apart from maybe in the morning when I go to start it. That's probably its most biggest failure.
Packed up and on the bike. I'm on the ferry, so we should be, hopefully, we'll get to Wellington. Hopefully it won't be too windy. They don't have an elevator on the old Bluebridge, on the Inter-Islander.
On the boat and up an elevator, there's the Inter-Islander. Beautiful day for a sailing. Seems relatively smooth so far. But I can tell you what, it wasn't smooth at all. Didn't realise it while we were sailing, but it wasn't until we actually made it into Wellington that the camber of the boat was just way off pitch, and we were told as we got into Wellington Harbour, we were told that we were going to circle here now for the next hour until the winds died down. The winds did not seem to die down. People were a little anxious, getting up, having a look out the window, and then we saw this little wee tugboat roaming around the ship, which apparently was going to give us a hand to see if they could get us into the harbour or mooring. And if it was not going to work, we would likely be out on the water until about 9 o'clock, which ironically, I've actually got accommodation. I only booked about an hour ago while we were crossing for some accommodation in Martinborough. Now, Martinborough is across the hill, and the hill has got roadworks going on at the moment, and that road closes at 9 o'clock tonight. So if I don't get off this damn boat by 9 o'clock, or before 9 o'clock, I need to get off this boat by 7 or 8. I'm not going to get across that damn hill. So fingers crossed we get off. Well, what I am going to tell you, this little red tugboat did come to our rescue, but did it come to our rescue in time? Did I get off the boat, get on my bike and get on the road and get across the hill and make it to my accommodation? Subscribe. We will be to be continued. Thanks for watching, people.